Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to your weekly dose of newsy infotainment. It is Let's Be Treasonable, coming to you from the luxurious studios of Radio Titans in Los Angeles with your cognitive dissidents on the panel this week. Actually, it is just we're playing a little one-on-one. I am your host, Dr. David Robinson, and joining me, as always, the black voice of reason, Mr. Tymon Shipp.
Power to the people. It's just you and me, Dave, the Jew and the black man on TV.
Yeah, it's like a setup for a bad joke.
Yes.
Jew and a black guy going to a podcast studio. But we are here, as always, and another fun week in Washington and the rest of the country. Of course, the big story this week is the House passing what, for lack of any better term, I guess people are calling Trump care.
Yeah. Well, why? I don't know why they're so excited about it, because, you know, those poor white folks out there in rural America who are barely getting by are going to get screwed. They've already proven that this is made for people. It only does well for young people who really don't need it. But the people who really need it, who have already existing pre-existing conditions and everything.
The elderly.
The elder. It's bad for them. It's bad for. I still have never been able to understand why it's so hard to get health care in a country as rich as we are. They keep talking about all this life, liberty, and all the stuff we have.
Well, see, that's where the problem is. The life and liberty, whatever, fine. Right. We get caught up in the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
And
we're not supposed to be happy?
Well, it's whose happiness is gauged to be more important. For instance, I know paying high healthcare premiums and going bankrupt because of medical expenses will not make you happy. Paying a shitload of money to insurance companies makes the insurance executives extremely happy.
Yes.
And this is a case where the government says, well, their happiness supersedes yours.
Right. I mean, they do say corporations are people. They are.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm looking at, every time it took these guys 7 years to come up with this so-called deal. It's supposed to be the greatest deal in the world.
No. I think we need to differentiate. They had 7 years to come up with it. From the looks of the plan, I think it took them about 15 minutes. But
right.
That's due now. The Republicans formulating their health care plan. Just the picture that I get in my head is the kid who's doing his homework on the bus on the way to school. It's like, I'm sorry, but you are not going to finish a 10-page paper on the bus. Ain't happening.
Right. But I mean, if you look at the situation of getting health care every time, I work for the county. I mean, I get pushed to the front of the line when I walk through. Pull back. I mean, I got low co-pays. I got low everything. I mean, but that stuff is because I'm with a county. It's a county gig. Those people out there who work for the private sector, these corporations are raking, these insurance corporations are killing, small business because they want these ginormous, payouts to these to their companies and everything, and it doesn't help. Think about it. You're paying for, just in case. That's what you're paying for, just in case. But so when something does happen, they really don't want to give you what you've been paying for monthly.
Oh, absolutely not.
And so why is it that car insurance we can do well? The car insurance guys are good, but health care, living and dying, no, we can't do that. We can do car. I mean, they can get you down. Why can't health care be like car insurance? I mean, if you want to go liability, okay, liability's cheap.
Well, this is one of the things that the Republicans are trying to do with their new health care plan. They're reducing the expenses by eliminating what is known as essential coverage. Mm-hmm. Now, I realize nomenclature when you get into the business world, all natural does not necessarily mean all natural.
Right.
But I think they're essential is kind of essential.
Right.
So some of the things that will not be covered, that they're talking about removing from basic coverage,
right.
is
pre-existing.
Pre-existing conditions, some of which, and certainly not limited to, sorry, I had a list right here, include AIDS, acid reflux, acne, alcohol or drug abuse, bipolar disorder, breast cancer, really any cancers, if you've had a C-section, if you have epilepsy, if you've been treated for heartburn, leukemia, multiple sclerosis. I mean, these people... no, multiple sclerosis didn't have a telethon. That was muscular dystrophy. But I'm pretty sure that's also
right.
A pre-existing condition. And the Republicans are proposing that if you remove all this essential coverage and coverage of pre-existing conditions, that's going to bring the cost down. And that is definitely true. It will bring the cost down, but that's like saying, you know what, we're going to make cars a lot cheaper by getting rid of the engines.
Right. But why have this
it's sure it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot cheaper, but it's going to be virtually useless.
Yeah. So my point is, why have insurance if I can't have insurance? Why have it if I can't go to the doctor when I need to go to the doctor? It's like a referral. You say, "Oh, your foot hurts," or your feet are killing you. Well, your main doctor has to make a referral to a
specialist, yeah,
in order for you to go and see this guy. You just can't say, "I'm going to see it." You just can't go to a foot doctor, and they look at your insurance card. Oh, you with so and so. Okay, be referred to. Rheumatologist, you got to be referred to. Wait a minute, I'm paying you. Why are you trying to control everything? Because it controls costs. But that's the whole thing. You're trying to tell me how to live. If you want, and basically what they're telling you, you want to make it today. You are on your own, because we're going to try to give you the bare minimum. This is not, and as I've had so many guys who tell me, you don't want that socialism like over there in Denmark where the government pays for their medical. Oh no, but guess what? They have preventive medicine. And yet, if they need something, they can go get it. Just like if they can go get an education, they can go get it. Well, if you like it so much, as the guy says, you like it so much, why don't you move there? I said, why do you hate? Why do I need to move? Why don't you just put it where it's supposed to be? Why don't you just make it to where I can enjoy it?
Yeah, well, Trump met with the Prime Minister of Australia this week and said, you guys have much better health care than we do. Well, what do they have over there? Single payer.
Right.
Exactly what the Republicans are trying to steer us away from.
Right. And you're telling the dumbest people in the world that are sitting over in these southern states and in these backwood rural areas of Pennsylvania and all the places these little towns. And he's going, yeah, there are. And you're still selling fear. And you're selling, you don't want that. But yet when they go, that so-called Obamacare, the reason why they call it Obama, they stick that name on it so you can hate him. It really has nothing to do with that. It's just hating him. But you're complaining about something. The premiums are going up. The premiums were going up anyway when the Bushes were in office. The premiums were going up back when his daddy was in office.
Free market economics that you guys seem to love so much.
Yeah. Frieden always said, hey, private enterprise, keep privatize, keep it that way. So you can continue they can continue. We wonder why we can't. You just keep adding stuff to the consumer. Gas tax just went up. Oh, another tax. And tax here, tax. And then you say, he wants to go to school? Tax him. And so you wonder when it's time to retire, what do you got?
Well, see, that's the thing, and this is kind of why we became a country. The whole idea of taxation without representation. If we want European socialist-style health care, our taxes are going to go up, which is fine if we're getting what we're paying for. You were just talking about the gas tax going up in 12%. California, right? And
12 cents.
And that is supposed to be going to roads and transportation projects.
No, you did that.
Well, and that's exactly. Well, where are the taxes that we're already paying on gas going to? If we're getting what we're supposed to be paying for, if you can justify the taxes, then hey, let's pay them. Let's get
That's why
our money's worth. Let's get what we're paying
was just
for.
busted. They did an audit on the colleges. She had $170 million sitting to the side. Okay, so you can pay these high-price ass administrators that you just raised the tuition on kids 5%. Now, mind you, you just raised my taxes on gas. You just raised the tuition on my kids' schooling, and you set it up to where I really can't get medical. Okay, so how are you helping? But yet you're worried that we'll end up like who? Denmark, where they can go to school for free, where they can go to college, get an education for free, and guess where they come to? America. They come right here and kick our ass with our own shit. That by the time a kid graduates from a 2-year school, you go to these pay-for-play or play
for-profit
colleges.
Yeah.
They talk about Phoenix. Phoenix will cost you a mint. 2 years, damn near 100 G's.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. Phoenix is expensive. That's just I work with people who've lost their homes because they had to take out loans. They want their money. As soon as you graduate, booyah. They want their money within a 6-month period. You must start paying on that damn loan. And they are no joke. And so I don't even see an end. I don't even think it's Republican and Democrat. It's just you're constantly adding to the consumer. Jerry Brown, just living in California. I'm surprised they're not charging us for the sun. What do you want? What do you want? Be near the sun? Yeah, we got to tax you on that. The sun. How about wind? Go ahead. Oh, the wind's blowing. Yeah, we need to charge them for the wind. Yeah, charge them. Breathing should be charged. And every time they say, how are we going to pay for it? We know what you're going to do. You're going to go after the consumer. That's what you're going to do. You turned us into consumers, and that's what we are. So get used to just continuously paying that whole tax thing you were asking that Jerry Brown's doing, the gas tax. That's to form his bullet train. They've been battling him that he wants you out of your car. He thinks that we're going to turn into New York. They want people to walk, and they think if we can get everybody to walk, they'll lose weight, and preventive medicine will kick in, and everybody will stop doing all these different things, and we'll be this way. But everything will continue to go up. You can't even buy a home. Why go out and tell a guy to go out and get a degree? A degree in what? You can't buy a house. Then people say, well, just move. Oh, okay. Well, what if I wanted to live here? Yeah, well,
How does it feel?
Yeah. To all of this stuff, it's all connected to our health care and everything else. It just goes right down the line. And so Trump did not do, every time they say, we're going to change this. Oh, okay. No, you know what? You don't have an answer, just like it was hard for you made Obama to have an answer. You don't have an answer.
Well, speaking of Obama, that's one of the things, because this bill just squeaked by in the House. But
it hasn't went by the Senate.
No, and it will change drastically. But over 20 Republicans voted against it, and the ones who voted against it, it's interesting. Some voted against it because they feel this bill goes too far in terms of repealing relevant health care. I don't know, knocking 24 million people off the health care rolls might have something to do with it. Not providing coverage or making coverage much more expensive for the elderly and infirm. But then other Republicans voted against it because they felt it didn't go far enough. Mm-hmm. They feel it doesn't go. There are some who feel it doesn't go far enough to truly repeal Obamacare, right. And there are others who voted against it because they're upset that the bill doesn't create provisions to create a time machine and go back to just completely eliminate Obama from the occasion. If they could do that.